Hey, everybody, welcome to Dave Calls While You Make Food. Today we have a very great guest. It's the Dave Reynolds. He's the founder and CEO of the Rumin8 Group. They're a growth consulting firm. So when we're like, hey, we need to grow, we went to Dave and he helped us out a lot. How are you doing today?
Fantastic. Yeah, really excited to be here.
Yeah, awesome. So also before we get started, there is going to be a trivia section. So anytime you hear this bell, there's going to
Okay.
be a trivia question. There's going to be three. And today it's a very special occasion. I got Chat CPG to write all of the trivia questions. And because I know that you're a huge coffee fan, they're all about coffee.
Yes.
Awesome. All right, so what are you making today?
Yeah, so I got some chicken in the valley yesterday. And so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to do stuffed chicken breast wrapped in prosciutto. And then as a side, I'm going to do some asparagus in the pan with some chili oil and then kind of do some lemon on
Awesome.
top of it.
Mm. I'm so excited that we're like in spring now and like these spring vegetables are starting to pop up.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I love heat. So, the first thing I thought of was the ghost pepper spice. So that's going to be everywhere and everywhere on this chicken.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. So yeah, what's the first step?
Yeah, so what I figured I would do is just take these chicken breasts here and just kind of like I guess butterfly them. And so I kind of cut down through and just kind of open them up so I could be able to stuff them. And then what I was going to do is in a bowl, just quickly wash my hands,
Yeah.
is just kind of mix up the ingredients. So I'll show you kind of what I've got here for ingredients. So I've got some herb and garlic. Oh,
Oh,
just move
nice.
this out of the way. I got some herb and garlic cream cheese.
Mm,
And we've got a fresh jalapeno.
nice,
We've
nice.
got some, they're called Mizuno microgreens. So we're going to mix that in there as well. And then we're going to mix in some ghost peppers on top of that.
Yeah.
So this is going to be really exciting. And then once we're kind of into the stages where it's stuffed, then we're going to do the actual skewers to kind of keep it together. We're going to do another layer of ghost pepper and then wrap it in prosciutto.
That sounds amazing. I'm coming over.
Perfect. That's awesome. So I'll start mixing some of the pieces up here.
Okay, I'm gonna interrupt you. We're gonna get the first trivia question. Now, keep in mind, I did not write these these trivia questions. What is the name of the machine that is used to make espresso?
Ooh, I wanted to say French press, but hmm, I don't know. I'm gonna have to say French press, even though I know that's not the right answer.
Oh, I mean, the only reason you did get this is because you doubted the answer, and the answer is an espresso machine.
That's awesome.
Either way, everyone gets a signed photo of me, so you've already got that in the bag, and you got two more chances. So we'll keep on cooking.
Perfect. Awesome. Yeah, I saw a neat trick with cutting the jalapenos the other day. Is like cutting them from the side. So you just cut the sides out, so you don't have to worry about like constantly just kind of cut out the actual seeds, which is great. So I figured I would just kind of do some like long slices just to add them in, but I'm just gonna do them in kind of big chunks. Add in some microgreens.
Do you know what kind of microgreens they are? Like radish or?
Yeah, they say they're fragrant mustard microgreens, but they call them Mizuna.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so give you a close shot. They're kind of like a nice like green.
Oh,
Almost
nice.
looks like kind of like a clovery look.
I wonder if they have like a little bit of like, I mean, for a microgreen, like heat just because of the mustard.
It could be. You know what? Want me to try it?
Yeah, yeah.
Love it. And it's I'll probably just mix in some of the ghost pepper spice on top of that.
Nice, nice.
Put lots. One of the ingredients actually that I was going to add was going to be I got an aged cheddar that I'm going to add on top of that. So I'll just quickly grab that.
Yummy, nice. Do you have any like advice for people that want to grow?
Yeah, you know what? It's a great question, especially if you're a startup.
Mm,
Obviously having some goals for your business, I think is going to be critical. Having a plan that's aligned with those goals. But I think something that we worked on that a lot of people miss, in the first part of the business is having a good measurement system. So having a good measurement system on like how often you're executing specific activities, whether they're, outreach to specific clients, follow up with clients, you doing social posts, having a consistency, because part of our core values that we work with clients on is consistency, discipline, and standards. So we understand what needs to be consistent to grow inside of the business, what kind of disciplines and structure that you need to have to scale and grow, but
Mhm.
also really being clear on what you want your standards to be, and not just from a quality perspective, but like what your expectations are and kind of your guarantee for your clients. So being clear on those three pieces are really essential when you're starting out, and even when you're a more mature business as well, because you really can't have one without the other. You can't be consistent unless you have discipline, and you really can't have discipline unless you have standards. So those are probably some of the more important pieces that we would recommend right off the bat, is to start kind of like aligning those three buckets.
Yeah.
I'm just going to grab the cheese there.
Yeah, sorry, I know I'm gonna got you on a tangent. I mentioned it before, but we met like it was just at the start of COVID, and like
Yep.
now we're doing a based show. But you were the first meeting that I had like one-on-one on Zoom, and I don't know if you remember, but I was like playing with the settings beforehand, and I had like a beach background, and I didn't know how to turn it off.
Yeah, you know what? You wouldn't be the only person. That I think we've been on so many Zoom calls over the pandemic that background I've seen. It seems like a million different times, but I feel like everybody's a pro now with the whole like Zoom. How to navigate it, doing recordings, doing stuff like this. It's amazing to be able to have a platform like this. So I'm just gonna skewer these things, but they seem pretty stuff. So we'll see. We'll see how well they stay together. We'll see how messy we make this. Beauty. So I've got that wrap now. So kind of what I wanted to do is obviously just do another quick dose of the ghost pepper spice,
Oh yeah, I love it.
and then just take a couple pieces of prosciutto around here and just kind of wrap it through.
Yeah, it's such a good idea to use the prosciutto with like a chicken breast because like the chicken breast doesn't have that much fat in it, but not like a chicken thigh. So having the outside prosciutto fat kind of like helps keep it moist. I tried to cook some chicken breasts and then like you're 5 minutes late and it's like you're eating a chicken flavored brick.
It's true.
Yeah.
And I find like I love prosciutto like the way it is. Like it just gives it like a nice exterior. So
Yeah,
this is kind of what it looks like before it goes in. So
that looks
it's kind of
beautiful.
messy, but yeah. So what we'll do is we'll just get this fired up here. And the goal is probably to let it go for about 10 minutes and then give it a flip.
Okay, yeah. And so that's just like an air fryer. Do you know what temperature you're putting it on at?
Yeah, I believe it goes to about 400 when I'm doing the chicken. So kind of curious to see how that goes. It should make the outside nice and crispy.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're gonna fire it up, put it on chicken, and it seems to go straight to 400. So there we go.
That is the quietest
That's
air fryer
great.
I've ever heard. Yeah.
And the advantage, because I've got two boys, is it's got two sides to it. So if you wanted to cook like something on one side and then something other, like fries on one side and chicken burgers on the other, there's an advantage of having two of them there, which is great.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
So I'll just quickly cut off the ends of these. It's funny. I was like at a market not that long ago, but I was talking to one of the guys that was getting asparagus. And I always cooked asparagus, but he was actually saying like he always eats it raw, which I found like
Yeah.
right by the end it's almost like reminds you of peas.
Yeah, yeah. To like cut it up and throw it into a salad, it just kind of adds like a nice like watery crunch almost that you wouldn't expect from the asparagus.
Yeah, which is fantastic. So probably what I'm going to do next is like once I have this, I'll probably cut up a bit of lemon. So once I cook it in the pan for a bit, I like when I take it out, just like kind of put a bit of lemon over top when I'm setting it up.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know if you heard, but I did the bell. So we're gonna do trivia question
Oh,
number.
did you?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Okay. What's the difference between a latte and a cappuccino?
Ooh, okay. So a latte would be like espresso with froth milk, and a cappuccino. It's got to be the difference between the amount of milk. I would say it has to do something with the actual like sugar consistency that's in it, because I find cappuccinos are much sweeter than lattes.
Yeah.
So I would say maybe syrup being added to it.
says here, according to chat, I did check it from ChatGPT because I don't know if it's the right. It's the amount of foam, right? So a latte has
Okay.
more steamed milk and a thin layer of foam on top, while a cappuccino has equal parts espresso, steamed milk, and foam. So that's probably why it's
Okay.
like the sweetness probably has something to do with the milk.
Okay. Good to know. You know what? And it's funny, like I don't typically ever get lattes or cappuccinos. I'm normally like getting espresso or like a coffee kind of guy. I've had a
Yeah,
couple cortados before and they're really good.
yeah. So what is a cortado?
Yeah, it's the balance between the amount of milk that's in it and the amount of coffee that's in it. I think it's equal parts milk, equal parts coffee. But I forget what the amount of ounces that are in it, but then it's the way that they cut the milk into the coffee, I believe. So
Yeah. It's crazy how they can just like make a drink taste so differently just by playing with like the ratio a little bit.
absolutely. And we had a client in the coffee industry as well. And he was saying, you know, even based on the hot, like temperature of the water, when you're making coffee, or like the type of water, just like the outcomes with the taste are completely different. So it's wild.
Yeah. So with asparagus, I know you cut it, but I heard that also there's another trick is like if you just like snap it near the end, it will like automatically like snap at the right part.
Okay. Oh, like as in if you do it right towards the end, that's where it's supposed to break.
Yeah, 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 because it's like the woodier part will like kind of stay firm, and then as soon as it comes to the right part, it will snap off.
Do you guys cook with asparagus very often?
Oh yeah, I love it when it's in season.
I love asparagus on the barbecue. Like, I feel like that's really great. Get it in some oil with some of the, like the different seasonings on it with olive oil.
So I was
That's
like
perfect for this.
talking to some people about like asparagus, and I was doing some research, and so like the difference between like a green asparagus and like the white asparagus is that they just cover it with dirt so it grows underground.
Oh, okay. I never do that. I don't know if I've ever seen white asparagus before.
It is rare to find just because it's more like labor intensive to cover it, but it just like because it doesn't get the chlorophyll from the sun, it turns white, and it's kind of like got I don't it's either more bitter or less bitter.
You know, speaking of different plants, it's interesting. Like whenever like we're working with different businesses, we always talk about, you know, well, what's the difference between a plant and a seed? You know, obviously a plant you can see when it's dying, you water it, do the things you need to, give it more light. But I think the thing that's interesting and applies to businesses, like a seed is kind of like the growth component, right? You plant the seed, you got to bury it, you got to, you know, give it sun, do all the things that you need to do, which is kind of like a new idea. And so the challenge is a lot of people give up on seeds because they can't see an immediate result. So we always challenge businesses to say, well, where does a seed grow? Well, it grows underground first, it grows roots. So sometimes you might not always see the results for good ideas right away. So what we try and do is we use it as an analogy to like stick to the process because most of the time it takes about 90 days to see a result from a new behavior. And then about another 90 days to start systemizing it. So we always try and use that analogy to get people to realize that results won't always be immediate. And I think, you know, you could speak to that, you know, you and Sarah on that, you know, growing a business takes time, right? There's a lot of, you know, fighting through and often sometimes you want to give up, but, you know, and believe in, you know, the next process, things start to kind of break through and they start to, you know, get that accelerated growth.
Yeah, you kind of grow a little bit, and then it's going to be like, oh, a whole new set of problems, and they're kind of easier once you have some roots to kind of go, okay, we know kind of what we're doing because we've done this before, so
Sometimes those problems do get bigger, but you have the confidence to kind of continue to keep pushing through them as well.
yeah, yeah,
I used a hot olive oil there, which is, you know, it's an Italian extra virgin olive oil, but it seems to have some kind of pepper that's in it. And I find I love cooking with it because it just gives that extra heat to, you know, anything that you're cooking in the pan, whether you're cooking chicken, you're cooking asparagus, just gives that extra little bit of fire. Actually, you know, it's funny. I'll probably put it even some more of that because I love the spice, just even on top of the asparagus.
Is
I'd be sweating after this meal.
yeah, is the whole family like into spice, or is it just you?
It is literally just me. I think I might have like 15 or 20 hot sauce bottles in the fridge, but anywhere I go, it's always looking for something that's spicy.
Yeah.
It's just kind of always been that way. I'm not big on sweets.
Yeah.
So it's more the spicy side. And I feel like when you meet people, it's like you're either spicy or you're into like sweets. And spice has kind of always been something that I've always really enjoyed.
What's your favorite hot sauce right now?
Um, there's a couple of ones. It's a company that's out of Ontario that has a blueberry habanero hot sauce or a blueberry ghost pepper sauce. It's
Okay.
really quite good. But I recently got this one that was quite good, and it's a truffle hot sauce.
Oh yeah, yeah, truff. Yeah, that one's awesome.
That was neat. Like I thought that was pretty cool. Like it's like a unique flavor, but I feel like anything truffle based, like you have to kind of like it's a unique taste. Like it's something that certain people attach themselves to. I really enjoy it. I've never had anything truffle products before, but
You know what you should try? They have one it's got the white label and they use the white truffle for it.
okay,
Yeah, and it's like it's even better than the black label one. I got Terry some for Christmas and I think I used most of it, but
right. That's amazing. What's your favorite thing to cook in the summer, Dave?
I think it's corn. I mean, I love when corn is local and in season, and it's just like it just tastes so good. Easy to
Yeah,
barbecue. You don't have to do too much to it. You can even eat it raw.
yeah, and you know, you're seeing more of it is like the vendors that are doing the corn up and all the different spices there now. Is there any particular like spice that you like prefer to put on corn when you're doing it?
I like doing like the elodie. So we did them when we did like the summer barbecue. So you just cook the corn raw on the grill, and then you like brush it with mayo, and then we sprinkle it with either taco enhancer or ghost taco and parm, and that's it. And it's beautiful.
That sounds good. Yeah, I can't. You can't beat a good barbecue.
Yeah, yeah.
Quickly check on the chicken here. It's looking good. I'm just gonna give it a quick little flip here.
Okay, we're gonna do the last two.
Okay, I
Okay.
feel like I'm gonna get this one.
Yeah, I think it's okay. I don't know if it's you got a 50% chance, I think. Between Arabica and Robusta coffee beans, which has a higher caffeine content?
Ooh, I'm gonna go Arabica.
I'm sorry, Dave, but it's so Arabica usually like tastes better, but the Robusta bean has up to 2.5% caffeine, where Arabica will generally not have more than 1.7.
Okay. Well, now I know which beans to ask for when I'm trying to get that caffeine burst in the morning.
Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome. This is like coffee university.
I think the first time I saw you were doing like a course with Ignite, and like one of your first slides was like how much you love coffee. Yeah, trivia questions like let's do coffee.
I love it. No, you know what? And it's one of those things where I'd say it's the first thing I do in the morning is make coffee. Like I come down first in the morning. I'm always somebody that gets up at like 5 a.m. and I come down and I make coffee right away. It's just like it's such a like a fun ritual. And just the smell of coffee in the morning, I love.
Do you have like a favorite local coffee shop?
Yeah, so I typically meet a lot of clients at Harvest. I live in Bedford, so I'll go to Harvest, and they've got great food and great coffee, and so I'll typically go there.
Yeah.
And I find it's a great spot for good coffee. And Cortado is just a walking distance from my house, and that's a great spot to grab coffee as well.
Oh, nice, nice.
So I'll probably take this out.
I love the idea of having like a spicy asparagus. I'm gonna be doing that soon.
I'm curious. I've used it a bunch of times with Brussels sprouts, and I find it's fantastic. It just like kind of grabs to the asparagus or the Brussels sprouts really well, and just a great flavor overall. I'll probably even put in a little side of microgreens here.
Man, nice.
There we go. I always love using the thermometer. I feel like that's one of the products that I got when I started cooking a lot that just made a really big difference on not even just making sure that things were cooked through, but like cooked at the right temperature. So, because I cook a lot of chicken,
Yeah.
and so it really kind of, I feel like it does a great job on just kind of guaranteeing that like it's nice and juicy, but also like fully cooked as well.
Yeah, I mean, like you know exactly the time to pull off like the steak or the chicken or whatever. So you're not gonna overcook it, right?
So it's done right here now. So we've got the chicken
Yeah,
stuff. We've got the asparagus that we cooked, extra spicy, and then we've got some of the awesome microgreens there.
that looks awesome. Do you take a bite for us?
You bet. I'm gonna try the asparagus. Mm. I think your point on the prosciutto makes a huge difference. Like having that on the outside,
Yeah,
kind of nice salty finish on the outside, but the spice is like perfect.
that's awesome. I'm gonna have to recreate this this whole meal because it looks.
Mm. Yeah, I'm glad that I got to the chance to reconnect with you guys again, but also, cook something that I haven't really even tried before.
Yeah, yeah, that's always fun. That's great, and it's great to be able to chat. We should go for a coffee soon.
Mm. Now that I'm educated on the difference between cappuccinos and lattes, then I'll be able to get the Robusto coffee, so get my extra caffeine.
Yeah, yeah. I just want to thank you very much for doing the show, and I'm going to tell everyone out there that's watching, if you want some great advice on growth, you should follow Dave on his LinkedIn. That's where I see you posting the most like valuable stuff.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. Thanks. And cheers to you and Sarah. And anything you ever need, don't hesitate to reach out, but come see me when you're in Halifax.